Welcome to the Trading Lounge. I'd love to share with you a trade I made today on my journey to 100K, where I try to take $1,000 to $100,000 as fast as I possibly can as a relatively new day trader. Today was almost a no trade day because this morning a stock, NPT, shot up like crazy. I couldn't get in. I'm going to show you that. I was frustrated, so I walked away and thought, you know what, I'm not going to trade today. I'm not going to trade. And then we reset and we see, you know what, when the market closes, let's see if we can find something to snipe. And we found it. But first, let's talk about this this trade that that we tried to make early this morning. Now, this is very impressive. Everyone's going to be talking about this, so I won't be the only one posting about this. This is an obvious stock to be trying to trade this morning. NPT hit the scanners. These are the scanners I've been using. Is these Warrior Trader scanners, and NPT hit those scanners. I believe it was let me type this in, NPT, a Chinese stock, and we've been seeing this trend with Chinese stocks. They rip up, rip down, rip up, rip down. So they're very dangerous to get into, but you know, we've been doing this for a month and a half. We can give it a whirl. So it hits pretty much all the scanners. I'm not going to show you, scroll all the way down, but by the way, this scanner is warriortrading.com. It's not free, but it's a pretty darn amazing scanner. These are the screens I pretty much use on the regular. It's got a small cap high of day momentum scanner, which lets you know when things are kind of squeezing up. And then we've got this, when they reach high of day, and then we have this running up scanner, which lets us know when a stock is running up a certain amount over time. We've got low float gainers right here, which shows you everything. I think it's under 5 million shares available to be traded, I'm pretty sure. And that's where I get a lot of my stuff from, as I'm trying to trade low float. Low float is the supply, all the volume and all that stuff is the demand. So we want something that has a very low supply. And then underneath here's the top gainers. This is just everything on the market. I mean, this one up here is up 150% right now. I actually wanted to trade this just a few minutes before I turned on this video, but another one popped up and I didn't really have an opportunity. But that is the scanner that I'm using. It's been pretty wonderful. And so with this stock this morning, hits the scanner. I'm going to scroll over to where it just gets pretty big. But here's the deal. It was testing. You know, it came up. It comes up, comes down, comes up, comes down, comes up, comes down. I mean, it's just traditional like stock stuff. Nothing fancy. I looked at this daily chart I have over here, and as I look back on this, I see it's a recent IPO. So see how there's no history in this section of the daily chart. So I have a recent IPO, and then the highest the stock had gotten at that point is 933. This is what's called a blue sky. So if it gets above 933, it has a chance to go nuclear, right? And you never know. It could go. It just depends on what's going on. It depends on how many people have shorted the stock. It depends on a lot. But if it gets above that point or close to that point, it could break through. So this is pretty amazing what happens with this stock. I mean, so as you can see, I marked this line off right here, and it shows up right here as well. And I was okay, if this stock gets above this line, again, it was kind of flirting with it the whole time. So if it gets above this line, I'm going to get in, right? And I forget. I'm trying to remember how many shares I tried to get. Tried is the key word. Tried. I was very frustrated. So I see this thing shoot up right here. It crosses over this line with insane volume right away, right? And the 10-second chart is on this. Let's scroll this thing over. Yeah. I mean, this is, by the way, like it goes from 880 to basically $2.10. And this section right here is 1070 something to, I don't even know, 16. That's another 10 seconds, right? That's $6 in 10 seconds. And then up here, I mean, this one's just crazy. It goes from $14.73 up to $30 in 10 seconds. This is just exactly what I've been waiting for, right? So I tried to get in. I tried to punch the ticket at about $11. It was $11. I think you can still see. Oh, I'll show you on the other screen maybe, but I can show you where I tried to fill that. It was right around $11 where I tried to get in this thing, and I got rejected. It said insufficient buying power. which is crazy because at the time I had set my buying power in WeBull to 85% of my buying power plus a 10-cent offset. However, the stock moved so fast and was so expensive by the time my order went through, there wasn't enough funds. And I'm like, well, so I cancel the order. I try to enter it again. Same thing happens. I'm like, okay, well, it wasn't meant to be. And then we don't want to chase it. So it's really, and it happened fast. We're talking 10 seconds, 30 seconds that this thing happened. So I can't risk everything. This was hard for me because in Thinkorswim, what probably would have happened here is you have to select unless you're using Dash Trader, you have to select your share amount. So, as the stock's screaming up, you got to select the amount of shares you want to buy. And then when you hit buy, you don't have a chance to say the price beyond so you go on the ask and then it kind of automatically sets a limit price and you buy shares kind of right around the ask. You'll pick up some liquidity below, a little bit above, and you'll get an average price. I believe that I would have been able to get in. I don't think it's reason enough to switch over to Thinkorswim just yet because we made a trade today, made decent money on it, and we'll kind of keep working through WeBull. But I did work with ChatGPT today to figure out if there are some other ways we could do this. There are other ways, there's a couple other trade windows that you can pop up that will allow you to click inside the level 2, and then which will I could click right here. So here's the ask. So I was basically trying to buy the ask with a 10-cent offset. Now you can see right here I change it to 15 cents. But there is a trade window in here that I'll test out where you can actually click this right here and it sets the price for you, and then you have to click buy. You can't shortcut it, which is fine in that very specific scenario. If I have to make an extra mouse movement and click, not a big deal, right? So I might add that, but first I decided, okay, we looked at ChatGPT to figure out how WeBull handles cash versus percentage of the account, and there's less mathematical algorithms that need to happen when you use a cash amount. So I changed this number right here to the cash amount. That's not the right amount right now. I just changing it for some testing, but I think I put like 3,000. I put $3,000 in here. I said 3,000 and then 15 cents. And then I also added in this aggressive version, which would be 3,000, 6,000 plus 25 cent offset. So that way I can select 60% of my buying power, however much I determine. We're going to go less than 85. And then a bigger offset for when I need to be aggressive and get in. And then the way that WeBull calculates if it's going to fill you, it handles the cash section of this a little bit better. You have a better chance to get filled versus going with percentage. That's what ChatGPT told me. I don't know. So we're going to try that. And if there's another instance like this that happens and I can't get filled, well, we're going to have to figure out the other screen or move to a different platform, which we'll have to move to a different platform eventually because what we're trying to do, we can't be having delays. We can't have issues. It is what it is. Anyway, I couldn't get in. I was frustrated. I was visibly frustrated, and I was pacing around my house, very frustrated because I did the math, and I lost out on $4,000 or something like that. It would have been amazing to be able to this is what I've been waiting for, is an opportunity like this, up every day, just grinding, and I see this and I time it. I'm like, we got blue sky. I mark off the line. If it goes above 933, I'm getting in, try to get in, can't get in. And it moves so fast, I didn't have an opportunity. So what happened here, I think, is that shorts got squeezed and the stock took off once the shorts got squeezed. And then once it got to a certain point, I don't know how this part happens, but maybe the company was selling off or something, no idea, but I missed the opportunity. Anyway, so spent all day sulking on it. Not really, just doing some research on how I can improve, that kind of thing. And then I said, when the market closes at 1, we'll get on and we'll try to make a trade. See if we can't chip away at this a little bit, right? We need to get the account above 5K so that I can switch to, potentially switch to Lightspeed or something that's direct access. Direct broker access or whatever that's called. Anyway, so we just got to keep chipping away. And so the stock that we traded today is CGIL. And I was kind of waiting for something to pop. It's going to look like I got in this a little bit late, but these 10-second, most of the move happened in the first 10 seconds. So I could have got in a little bit earlier, but it is what it is, and that'll come with timing. But yeah, this thing, I'll flip the scanner over real quick. This one hit the scanner. I think it's still here, right in this range right here. It hit the scanner right there for high dim momentum, saying, hey, by the way, bing, bing, I want to alert you, like what's going on. You can see it a little bit below here for 330 when it first started going off. I think I was kind of maybe looking at something else, but it hits that scanner, and then it hits kind of this running up scanner right here. It lets us know that it's climbing up. And I thought I saw it somewhere else as well. Low float top gainers probably. Right here, right there. It's up 62%. So this whole thing happened from 1 o'clock. I'm West Coast time, so 1 o'clock on. I mean, it's only been an hour since the market closed. That stock is up 65%. I think there was a little action before that, but for the most part, this is where the action happened, and I'm very grateful for it because I was trying to find something that I could kind of snipe. Now, it didn't have any news. And I think it's a U.S. stock. Let's take a look at this. Is that what I saw? No. What's SG? Is that Singapore? I would guess so, but I'm not exactly sure. Not a U.S. stock. So, yeah, it's low float at least. 26 million? Is that low? Is that right? Oh, man. We got a little lucky on this, guys. We got a little lucky. The float's a little higher than normal. It's not a U.S. stock. It had no breaking news, but it hit the scanners. As soon as it hits the scanners, I pull it open. And what I saw initially out of the corner of my eye was this candle right here, right there. And so I said, okay, if this next candle opens and if there's a red candle pullback, or I'm gonna get in. So it actually opened. It came down a tad bit. And then it ripped up real fast in 10 seconds. And I pretty much bought when I could. Maybe it could have been a little bit earlier, but got in at $3.99. It was a little. I bought and sold within the same window, so in under a minute, probably under 30 seconds. It probably says it right here. Let's take a look. Yeah, I was in this trade for all of 11 seconds. 11 seconds. I just made $123 in 11 seconds. Like that's pretty awesome. I'm very happy with that. Anyway, so we got in at $3.99. We got out at $4.16 on the same candle, just as this thing was kind of going up. I didn't stay any longer because this thing was pretty choppy within that candle. It was moving up and down. The bid was moving up and down really, really. So for those of you guys who might not know, anyway, the P&L is $123 on this, which is great. But it was right here. This isn't the stock, but it doesn't really matter. Right here and then right here on the bid. This thing, it was going up and down by like 10 cents, 13 cents, down 10 cents, up 13 cents. So finally, I just like waited for that moment when the profit hit, got out as soon as I could. It went up a little bit more than that, but I'm happy to be green. Let's check out the data. Started this account with $1,000. We added $1,200. Now sitting at a profit of $1,424. Very grateful for today's numbers on this journey to 100,000. And we now have 26 trade days with 29 wins and a 90% win rate. But I mean, that stock today, we got to figure out how to be able to get in. WeBull is not really built for it. It's not built for it. It's not a forgiving platform if you want to try to catch something that's running $30 in 20 seconds. But I think we can make it work for us. I just got to kind of figure out how to do it until we can get to an amount that I can transfer that over to a direct access broker and feel confident with my skill set. So anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow.